Hello and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. And today, yet again, I've got my favourite duo with me, Darren Sullivan and Mark Cloer. How you doing, guys?
What's up, boys?
All right, boys. How are we?
Right, so we're gonna round off the ballads. It's going to be a shame to see the back of it, but we've got to do it sometime. So we're going to do the second part of basically this century's ballads up to this day, and it's like going to finish the whole series, if you like. So we've done 70s, 80s, 90s. Now we're in the rest of it, and this is it. So we'll obviously be doing loads of other stuff, but the ballads, this is the end. So who wants to go first today? What? Go on, yeah.
I'm just going to say, just before we kick off, Mark can go first today if he wants, but or you, whichever. But I was just going to say, before we kick off, because this was the last of this series, and we're in the 2000s, for this particular one, I don't know what way you guys did it, but I tried to angle it a little bit where I went for glam. I wanted to cover all forms of rock as much as I could in this particular last video. So I went for glam, indie, alternative, soft rock. Anything under that rock banner, I tried to cover it underneath. So we'll see how we go.
So what you're trying to say is you're going to sneak a load on this one. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
You know me too well.
Right, no, that's fine, mate. Of course, it's the last one. You can get away with anything now. You can get away with anything. As long as it's not, I don't know, rap. As long as it's not rap.
Air Supply?
Okay, we go Mark first then, yeah?
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to start us off with the Scorpions from the Sting in the Tail album, 2010. A song called Lorelei. I don't know who Lorelei was, but they wrote a damn good song about her. This was supposed to be their farewell album, and I think it's actually a pretty good album. There's several tracks on there I like a lot, and this song Lorelei is the ballad on it, and real good song. And obviously they did not retire after this album. They're still chugging along, so that's a good thing.
I'll tell you
How
what,
many albums were they in at that point?
Sorry, go on.
What's that?
How many albums were they in at this point? How many albums were they?
Oh, God, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and count. Quite a few.
I must admit, their last few ain't been bad. Look, I always will prefer the 80s Scorpions, but I think their last few albums ain't been bad at all. No, good choice, that, mate. Good choice. Darren, let's have your first dodgy pick.
Okay. You know what you get with me, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a little bit of a glam rock, and I'm going 2004. I'm going with the Darkness and Love Is Only a Feeling. Now, these guys get blasted a lot, right? As kind of I don't know, like a Queen ripoff, let's say. And yeah, they have those Queen kind of harmonies, and they sang and looked in a way that I would grant you any of my detractors in your comment section would say that they border on probably parody as well a little bit. But for me, I've watched a few of the live versions of this song, and they're quite a tight band, and Justin Hawkins, their lead singer, does have a good voice for this kind of material, this kind of glam material. And I think this Love Only Is a Feeling, Love Is Only a Feeling was a top 5 hit in the UK, in your native UK as well, Lee. So I'm going with the Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, they hit quite big, didn't they, around about that time? And then they went away for a while. Like you said, they've taken a lot of stick. They're not a parody as much as Steel Panther, you know, but definitely not.
Yeah.
But no, good choice, mate. No, that's definitely in the heavy rock category anyway, for sure. So that's cool. Okay, I'm choosing a band now that you're probably surprised I haven't chosen like all the way through. So I thought I'd definitely go from this time, and that's Striper. So I've chosen the one.
Ooh.
No More Hell to Pay. 2013, No More Hell to Pay. I love this, man. I think it's really does compete with the best of their ballads. It's got a real emotion in this song, real emotion, and it's my favourite recent Striper album as well. Out of the last 4, which have all been amazing, No More Hell to Pay is my favourite of those last 4. And the one, man, it is just as good. You know, we're comparing it to First Love and stuff like that. I think it's just as good. That's my first choice. Striper.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't pick that one is because I thought at some point you would bring that one in. So I'm glad you got that one in there.
Cool. All right then, Mark.
Okay. I don't know if either one of you are familiar with this project, but Glenn Hughes and Jolene Turner hooked up and did a project they called HTP for Hughes Turner Project. The debut album came out in 2002, and this song is called Mystery of the Heart. Most of the songs they shared lead vocals on, but this particular song, Jolene Turner took the lead vocals. I guess Glenn probably did some of the background vocals on it, but great song. I think both of you would probably like it if you heard it. Jolene Turner's voice, as we've mentioned before, is just off the chart.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Does a great job on this song.
He has got the perfect voice for that, melodic hard rock, if you like, and brilliant. Yeah. Okay, mate, good choice.
Fully agree. Good choice. I haven't actually heard it, Mark, but I'll take a listen to it on the playlist. But yeah, Jolene Turner, perfect. Okay, in my magical mystery tour, I'm going to hit my second one up, and I'm going for a song from 2002, and I'm going kind of a maybe slightly, you might call it alternative rock, maybe soft rock kind of angle. I'm going with Matchbox 20 and the song Unwell. Rob Thomas, the lead singer of this band, has a very, very good voice. He sang with, I think they had a hit somewhere in the mid-2000s as well. He sang with Carlos Santana, a song called Smooth, which was...
Yeah, I remember that one.
Not quite this, but his band, his band Matchbox 20, I think they had a good few hits. This one, I think, was on their third album. They had a good few hits. They were hitting their stride as a band at this point. I think that's why Carlos brought him over to sing that one. But Unwell... I remember hearing this back in the day and just thinking, wow, I went out and got the album kind of just based on this one track. As I think you guys have said before, you hear a song, you buy the album. So Matchbox 20, Unwell. Okay,
mate, cool. Well, I'm going my next choice. I'm going for quite a heavy band, but this is definitely a ballad. More of a modern, even though I think we're going a few years now, more of a modern sort of band. Avenged Sevenfold. I'm sure you've all heard of them. So a song off their Nightmare album, and it's called So Far Away. So a real sad song, this one, because it's dedicated just before this album got done. Their drummer died, and they dedicated basically the album to the drummer, and especially this song. And it's such a sad song. If you want to catch the YouTube video as well, I mean, I saw them perform this at Download a couple of years back as well. And they had all the big screens came up with images and videos of the drummer. Oh man, it was really it was a bit choking, I was choked up a little bit, but really emotional song. Avenged Sevenfold, I mean, I don't like everything they do, but some of their stuff is really great. They're like a mixture of Maiden, Metallica, usually in their heavier side, but they can really slow it down to do some of the best ballads I've ever heard. So Avenged Sevenfold, So Far Away.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because you're talking about kind of heavier stuff here. How heavy does it have to go before it's not a ballad?
Yeah, I know.
If that makes
that
makes sense. What's the borderline?
See, I think some of the choices that I've chosen, I think I've been stretching. I'd say I've been stretching a little bit, but I don't know. The thing is, we were saying about this the other day. Sometimes I look at bands and think that's a ballad, but if you put that song into another band's repertoire, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
it's a bit of an unknown, really, isn't it?
No, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a criticism of the choice. It was more. I struggle with it a little bit when I'm putting these together. Going, how far is too far before you're over the line? If you know what I mean, or how soft, in my case, is too soft before I piss them off. So it's the balance of it.
Well, I think that's all part of this show, to tell you the truth, and I think that makes this show more of a laugh because we're challenging each other, and I think that's a good part. I think that's a good part of it. It makes it interesting. You know what I mean? So that's part of the fun in it. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I mean, I think it'd be cool. There's been a couple of comments in there under our videos about it. A couple of people have said, that's stretching it a bit. I think that's a fun part of it. But it is a bit of an unknown. It's a difficult one because it depends on the band as well. So I don't know.
It's
Anyway.
open to
If people-
interpretation.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
I just said it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
And if people aren't getting pissed off in the comment section, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Okay, back to Mark, I think, mate.
Yeah. All right. In 2002, Doogie White did an album with this band called Cornerstone. Doogie White did an album with Rainbow, and he is one of my all-time favorite singers. He might be my number 2, right behind Tony Martin.
Wow.
Just love his voice. Love the album he did with Rainbow, and he joined this band after his stint with Rainbow. This particular album is called Human Stain, and the song I picked is called Singing Alone. It's actually a song he wrote about his departure from Rainbow. He was fully expecting there to be a follow-up to the Rainbow Stranger in a Song album. And then, of course, Richie Blackmore hooked up with Candace Knight, who he ended up marrying, and they formed the Blackmore's Night project, and he put Rainbow to bed for quite a few years. But luckily, Doogie went on to join other bands and do other projects, and this is one of the better ones, Cornerstone. So, yeah, great song, Singing Alone.
Yeah, I mean,
It's an angry ballad, is it?
It's not really angry. It's just it kind of shows his, how disappointed he was, basically, that that the ride ended before it was supposed to. Really good song.
really fit into that classic rock category, don't they, Cornerstone? But they mix it up quite a bit. They're quite good band. Okay, Darren.
Oh, okay. I'm going with a band I love. I'm going with Foreigner, and I'm going with a track from the one and only studio album I believe they've done with Kelly Hansen. That album is Can't Slow Down. I'm going with the song In Pieces from that album.
Love that band. Love that song.
Look, you guys know me. Oh, dear, cool.
Yeah.
You guys know me. I love Lou Gramm. He's probably, you guys know me. I'm the real melodic rock guy. I love Lou Gramm, Steve Perry, Jimmy Jameson, these guys, and I love Lou. But there has to be a point where you move on. We made this conversation. We had this conversation before around Journey, in Arnell. Kelly Hansen gets a lot of abuse, but you can't blame that on Kelly. The band is still going because he's fronting them up, and I think this is actually a pretty decent album. In Pieces for me is the best song on that album. It's a pity they didn't do a bit more with Kelly. They still could. He's young enough, but I think it's a good choice for this video.
Yeah, they keep talking about doing another album. I don't know why they haven't yet. I saw Journey with Foreigner. No, I saw Foreigner with Journey and Styx at Wembley a few years ago. It was brilliant. All with the new singers. It was quite cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay then, mate. That's brilliant. Right, I'm going to go with a band. I know Darren's definitely heard of them because I've been talking about them on the station quite a bit, and I think you probably have as well, Mark. And that's the band Wet. So they're a Swedish band. They consist of someone from the band Eclipse, Eric Martinson, Jeff Scott Soto, ex Journey, and a guy from a band called Work of Art. So that's the letters, what they stand for, Wet. And they're a brilliant AOR melodic heavy rock band, if you like. And then their debut album, which was called Wet, had a song on there called Comes Down Like Rain, and it's absolutely superb. It's quite a sexual song, actually. It's sort of a making love song. So, if you want to turn it on to get your woman in the mood, it's the one. Brilliant song. Yeah.
What's it called again?
Comes Down Like Rain, mate. Just check out on the I'll whack it on the old Spotify thing later, and you could just ease it on in the background for her. All right?
No. Do the rest of your show yourself. I gotta go. See you later.
Okay, brilliant. Right, I think we're up to Mark now.
He's making a middle note for his wedding night there.
Fact.
Okay, I'm going, let's see here, 2017. band is called the Ferrymen. This featured Ronnie Romero, who has since assumed the helm of the Rainbow ship.
And Sunstorm now. And Sunstorm now as well.
That's right. He's a busy man these days. Anyway, this is a great album by a great band. The song's called Eternal Night. I don't know if either one of you have heard it, but if not, check it out. This is their debut album. They did another album last year. I don't like it quite as well, but very good band.
Darren.
Okay, I'm going to end the indie route here, and I want to give a shout out to kind of an Irish band of a gang of lads who are kind of my age, so they're kind of almost grew up kind of listening to this group. It's a group called the Coronas from here in Dublin, and it's a song called Warm, and it's quite a. You're not going to get a lot of guitar in this. You do on a lot of the other songs, but we're talking ballads, and it's very strings and piano kind of driven track. A subtle vocal, I would say, by the lead singer is Danny O'Reilly. Course he is O'Reilly, but yes, just a perfect love song, just a great ballad. And if you're into this kind of thing, you know, if you embrace this kind of, it's not overly always my thing, this kind of indie rock kind of stuff, but if you're into it, this is a good example of how an indie band does a good ballad. So the Dublin lads, the Coronas.
Cool. Okay, next one I'm going with is I've spoken about this band before. I think when we've done our 80s one, it's Tesla. So they brought an album out, which I thought was an excellent album, in 2008 called Forevermore. And it was like a return to form, as far as I was concerned, of their 80s sort of style. And it's a song called Private Ledbetter. And it's a really sad song, actually, because it's about a guy going to war, fighting for his country, and then him actually getting killed in action, and then his mum getting a letter home to say he'd passed away or been killed in action. It's a real sad, like lyrically, it's quite a sad song. It's sort of patriotic in a way because it's talking about sacrifice for your country, but the sadness that comes with it, obviously. But it's a great tune, Private Ledbetter, Tesla. Lyrically, cool. You would love it. You would love that.
You love a bit of Tesla, don't you?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're great. Okay.
Very good. Love it.
Up to our fifth one, I think, Mark.
Okay. This is a new band. This album just came out recently, last year, called Black Swan. I think we briefly mentioned them earlier. Robin McCauley is the front man. Jeff Pilson on bass. Reb Beach on guitar, and Matt Starr, who played with Ace Frehley on drums. Kind of a super group. Great album, great debut. I hope it's not their one-off project. I hope they continue with this. The song is called Make It There. The album is called Shake the World. The song is called Make It There. As we said before, Robin McCauley's voice is just, it's as good now as it was in the 80s. He hadn't lost anything. He's taken real good care of his voice, and it shows.
Yeah, it did make it in my top albums of the year, that one. It is a good album. Like, definitely, yeah, classic rock, sort of bluesy.
Oh,
sometimes.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Darren.
Okay, I wasn't going to do these guys twice, but I think I heard you might have said you had a song by them as well, Lee, and I'd done them in the last video. I'm going to go once again, and it's funny how we've circled back around to these guys. No matter, I'm going to go Sunstorm again, and we've already talked about Joe Lynn Turner. Mark's brought up another man. It seems to always circle back to Sunstorm, but I'm going with Heart Over Mind from 2006, from their debut album.
That's my one. Oh man, it's brilliant. I've got.
You've had 4 goals.
I know. I love that song, man. You're right. That's a great song.
Yeah. Of the Sunstorm project, I would say this is probably my my second favorite song after the one I've done last week with Walk On. This one from their first album. I know you're a big fan of this first album, Lee.
Yeah.
It's an incredible tune, and great ballad, that one. So Sunstorm, once again, I don't want to have to put them in twice, but I couldn't help myself.
Nah, man, it's a brilliant choice. Okay, so I'm going to go a bit controversial now. This is only as far as the band's concerned because it's Iced Earth. So they're in a, I don't know if you've heard, Darren, about the singer. He was one of the guys who broke into the Capitol building. But the song.
Oh, really?
Itself,
Oh, right. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the guitarist. Yeah, broke into the Capitol building. Anyway, so the song is called "When the Eagle Cries" off of the Glorious Burden album in 2004. And you know what? It's a very patriotic song as well. If you watch the video, basically lyrically, it's as plain as day. It's you could say it's about America getting their revenge after the 9/11 attacks. I suppose you could say it's as simple as that. Now they're obviously very patriotic band. John Schaefer, who's the guitarist, songwriter. The lyrics are all about, a lot of the songs are about that sort of stuff. It's quite a sad song. It's definitely a ballad, but it builds and builds like guitars in the end and all that, with a great vocal on it as well. It's a brilliant song off one of my favourite albums from them as well. And that's it, When the Eagle Cries. Superb song, Iced Earth. Gonna get a load of moaning now in the comments about Iced Earth.
The thumbs up for me on that one.
Yeah, he's been arrested now. He's been arrested now. So. Go on, mate.
Sometimes you've just got to separate the man from the music, Or
Exactly.
whatever.
Okay.
Is that 5 each?
Yeah, we can get another one in though if you want. We haven't even had the 10-minute thing come up yet for some reason.
Okay. All right. This is going to be kind of an odd choice. In the last one, Darren brought up Daughtry, and I concurred with his choice. Along those same lines, this is another American Idol finalist. Name is James Durbin. Lee did a reaction to one of his new songs, and I think I left a note in the comments that I may bring James' name up in a future episode, but this is it. This is his debut solo album. Came out in 2011, called Memories of a Beautiful Disaster, and the song is called May. It's basically, he's singing it from a perspective of a guy who married his childhood sweetheart, and they're planning their life, and she dies during childbirth. Very sad song, and James does a very good job on it. He's a great singer. He was in Quiet Riot for a little while recently, and I don't think that was the smartest move for his career. He didn't really fit in well with that band, but he's doing his own thing again now, and he's got a great voice. So I wish he would.
Yeah, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Here's where Mark's credibility is up there and mine is down there, right? And here's why, right? Because if I said American Idol, if I said anyone from American Idol, I would be told, of course you chose some from an American Idol. If Mark says it, he turns it into something very cool. It's unbelievable.
I went Swedish Idol last week. So I'm to blame.
Yeah, you did. True.
Okay.
All right.
Darren.
Very good.
You're right.
Cool. All right. Last week, Lee, you gave, and Lee, I think you've got a good set of pipes on you, by the way. I don't think you admit it. I think you can sing. You just haven't admitted it yet. So I'm going where I went last week. Last week I went back to my college days. Went back to the band called The Calling, and then you gave us a lovely rendition, Lee, of Wherever You Will Go, which was fantastic. This week I'm going back to my college days again. I'm going to an album my little brother had, and then I nicked it off him because he played it so much I liked him. I'm going with Green Day and a track from their 2004 album American Idiot, a track called Wake Me Up When September Ends.
I love that one.
Oh, look.
Yeah, again, Lee was talking a little bit around, patriotic songs and stuff last. I think this one is quite a patriotic song. Well, the video certainly was anyway. The album is a concept album. it's a bit long for my liking, but every song fits into the structure of that album because it's a concept album. And Wake Me Up When September Ends, I think, is probably one of the best on it. Billy Joe Armstrong, bit of an odd guy sometimes, but man, he's talented. And as far as this genre goes, they're the best of that genre.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a particular fan of Green Day, but I don't mind that song, actually. I don't mind that one. But, you know, all to their own, isn't it, really? But, yeah, definitely, mate. Good choice. Okay, I'm going Journey because I thought, you know, round something off with something we all love. So a bit of Journey. 2008, off of their comeback album with Arnell, Revelation, and I've chose Like a Sunflower. Man, I love this song. It is.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's, to me and Mark spoke a bit earlier on about another band that sort of come back and they done an album that sounded almost like, and we've spoken about this as well, Darren, about Journey as well, about this album sort of sounded like a rehash of some old songs. Do you know what I mean? And a little bit, this reminds me of Lights. Yep. This really does remind me of Lights, this song, Like a Sunflower. But I love it. I still love the song, no matter what. It's sort of, I think I was looking at the meaning of it. It's about an argument that's gone too far and trying to find a way to sort things out, like with your other half sort of thing. So, you know, quite a cool song, very nice vibe to it, very mellow, very good. I love Arnell, man, as you know. He's a great singer, and I think he's perfect for Journey. Yeah. So that's it. Like a Sunflower is my last choice. Okay.
Can I just mention something very quick on it very quickly? When I done the mashup between Arnell and Steve Perry on my channel, when I put it together of them both singing separate ways, the criticism that came in, and I don't think it's because of where he's from or anything like that, a lot of the criticism that came in from Journey fans is Arnell doesn't pronounce certain syllables the way Steve did. Do you guys notice that on the albums, that he's slightly off with the syllables in terms of, not anything to do with his native language, just the way he sings?
I don't notice it on the albums, but I notice it when he sings live.
Right.
Yeah. So perhaps when they do it in the studio, you know, they're sort of like looking at that. Perhaps they correct it and do it until he, you know. But I do notice it a little bit live. It doesn't bother me though. But you know, I sort of can hear his accent coming through a little bit sometimes, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
For English to be his second language, he does a brilliant job.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Stunning.
Definitely. I think he's so underrated. You know, it's a shame, isn't it? Our fans get on people's backs now. It is a real shame. I mean, some of them have gone past that now. Like, you know, the band we're speaking about earlier on, Iced Earth. You know, that people can't forget about Matt Barlow, who's the original singer. They just can't forget about it, you know. And Stu Block, who's the new one, he's a brilliant singer, you know. And then you've got Foreigner, we spoke about them earlier. I think he's a great replacement, you know. It's just some people can't let it go. Queensryche's another one. You know, the list goes on and on. But
yeah.
Okay.
They're almost like the Marvel Comics fans, Journey fans. And I'm the biggest Journey fan, but my God, not only do they go for Arnell, for me, even putting a video together like that was heresy. They went for me. I don't care. Bring it on. But yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. The thing is, it ain't just about bands. People are so stuck, even in the 80s. They're stuck in the 80s so much, they won't even listen to anything that's new. Oh, man, look at the music we're getting now. You know, apart from the 80s, now is the time that's just nearly as good as what you was getting back then. It's just that's a good subject for another show.
Great, yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Right, okay. If you've got any honourable mentions, guys, Mark first. We've got 5 minutes left. If you want to mention any that you've not managed to get.
Staying with Journey, Revelation. After all these years, love that one. From the Eclipse album, Resonate. Love that one.
Love that.
Yeah. Dawkins from the Long Way Home album, Goodbye My Friend, came out in 2002. Great ballad. I'm going to throw Daughtry back into the mix. I threatened to do it in the last one. Darren is coming home. I'm going to pick What About Now. Another great song.
From the same album, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're from the same album, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then my last one, I'm going back to Wasp from the Golgotha album in 2015. The song is called Miss You. Those are my honorable mentions.
Cool. Got any, Darren?
No, Lee, I'll let you go. I kept my choices lean for this video, so go ahead if you have any.
Oh, that's cool, mate. Right, I've got a singer that I've mentioned quite a few times, Jean, called Jean Londe. He's got a band called Jean. House of Cards, off of the World Changer album. Just check out Jean if you haven't heard of him. If you haven't heard of him, especially Mark, because you're into Dio and Whitesnake. Definitely got a brilliant voice. Lynyrd Skynyrd, 2009 album. I think their last couple of albums have been great, and they've done a song on that called "Unwrite That Song," off of the God and Guns album. Alan Londe, which is Russell Allen and Jean Londe again, that vocalist I spoke about, Master of Sorrow, off of the Revenge album. Primal Fear, German power metal band. They've done a brilliant ballad on their album last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've done a song last year, and it's just piano and the singer off of the Metal Commando album last year, and it is absolutely brilliant. And it's just his voice over a piano. It's just outstanding. Crazy Licks, Swedish band, a song called Children of the Cross from their New Religion album. FM, I've got Walk Through the Fire.
Oh. Ah, yes! Great call.
And the last one, I've got Eclipse, who's one of my favourite.
Ah.
Second to last one, Eclipse Hurts, which is off Momentum, 2017. And the last one, I'm just going to say, it's a brand new track, which I reacted to the other day, and that's that Ronnie Atkins song called One Shot, which is just, oh man, it's superb. So, you know, pretty made singer, going through a lot of health problems at the moment. Got a new album coming out, title track. The video, man, is just, I don't know, it's not meant to be sad, but it just made me a little bit, you know, it did upset me a little bit looking.
I've had that song. I've had that. Yeah, I've had that song in my ears all for the whole week, and since you done a reaction video on that, brilliant song. Yeah,
so it's good to round something off that, you know, that's something that's new, because it just shows you what's to come as well, doesn't it? It is brilliant music that we all love. Yeah. You know, it ain't just about the 80s. It's not about the 90s. It's about now as well, isn't it? You know. There you go.
Yeah. Lee, are we go? Does Dio get a little bit of a call as well? What's Dio's choice?
No, that's
not the cat.
That's Vamp. That's Vamp the cat. That
one. All right, okay. Oh, Dio's the dog. Dio's the dog. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, listen. All right, listen, guys. It's been excellent doing the ballad shows, and look, we can actually do a roundup at the end of next year. At the end of the year, can't we? We can do the best ballads of 2021. How about that?
You're on. Let's do it.
But also, we got loads more to do as well, obviously. So, all right, thanks for joining us, guys, and comments below as usual. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.